Hello there. Kia ora. Hey, look, I'm not in the office at the moment. I mean, I technically am. I'm doing this on a green screen to make it look like I'm somewhere else, but I am actually somewhere else. I'm touring around the country at the moment because it's summer and I need a little bit of a break, but I've got a special effects budget to spend. So I'm going to do what all good TV shows do in this case and set up a clip show with some older content just to rehash it and feed the algorithm. So feel free to sit down and reminisce or relive the horrors depending on which video it is, and hopefully you enjoy or at least don't get too depressed by it. And if you see me floating around, feel free to say hi. Recommend a good place for finding a bacon and egg pie. That's my mission, I think, for this particular journey, is to find the best bacon and egg pie in at least the North Island. We'll see what we can do on that one. Anyway, enjoy this particular piece of recycled content. I suppose it's good for the environment if I'm recycling this way. I know. Enjoy. Hello there. Have you ever come across a post on social media that's been put there by a mainstream media entity? You go to comment or offer feedback because it's something that you agree with or disagree with or kind of inspired by or a little bit disgusted by, but then you go through and you have a look at the comments and the dumbest people on the planet have already commented before you, and they've said a whole bunch of really stupid or really nasty stuff, and you go, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this. That is kind of, in part, the nasty effect. First identified in 2013 and published in the Journal for Computer Mediated Communication, the nasty effect is pretty much what it says on the box. Essentially, uncivil behavior between communicators online cause you to build a distrust around wanting to be involved, but also on the source of the media and information itself. So when you come along a post that's full of nasty bullshit or horrible takes or just an awful set of reckons, and you decide you don't want to be involved with it, it starts to make you question what the point of that post is from the media. Is it worth trusting a media outlet that's going to let this kind of thing happen? Let's have a quick look at an example from the last couple of days. So here's a story that appeared on One News in both broadcast and social media form. Now, it's a story about a bunch of kids in a Southland school who are using technology to create new ways to fight issues that you didn't even realize. Stuff like water temperature measures to see which ones might be infected or not. Different ways of using digital technology for tracking information, responses to natural disasters, or just, general very clever things. It's quite impressive. These kids are far smarter than I ever was. But that doesn't stop the idiots from commenting. Now, the range of these comments is pretty diverse. They go from climate change denial through to the futility of what they're doing, right down to just overt racism. And these comments don't get taken down or removed. You can complain about them and nothing seems to happen. And they're also filtered through with a whole bunch of spam and scammers trying to trick people that are also not moderated away fast enough for them to be effective. Which leads you to the point where you have to wonder, why would you even bother trying to comment when you get piled on when something like this happens? The issue starts to compound itself though, because after a while, nobody wants to comment at all, and trust in the media starts to erode because of what's been happening in the comments section. It's completely unruly and completely unmoderated, so I'm not going to put anything out there because I don't see a point in starting an online fight that's never going to change anybody's mind. This is essentially what it boils down to. But then the trust in the media that's putting that out there, that's not moderating these comments, that's allowing them to run wild, starts to degrade in the public eye as well. Which means you start seeing a reason for why people distrust the media. And it's not necessarily that the media is not telling the truth. Media will always have a bias. It's because our opinions on that media have been coloured by the shitheads that are let loose to run wild in the comments section. Now, there's only one New Zealand media outlet so far that's actually done anything about this. Less than a year into the pandemic, due to the vitriolic nature to a lot of the comment sections that they were putting up there, Stuff Media New Zealand actually removed the use of Facebook altogether, only choosing to go back onto Facebook to put out information around the vaccine and more recently around the death of Queen Elizabeth II. And the results were really fascinating to watch. First of all, they found that people trusted the media more because there was less dissent, less arguing, and their viewership numbers went up because more people trusted that media source. But then another side effect of this is the opposite snowball effect. Some of their content was shared hundreds of times, but because it can only be shared within the circle of friends that people have, the amount of impact that it had in terms of spreading information or getting people worked up to spread the wrong kind of information in response to it really plummeted. To fix the nasty effect is actually pretty simple. Remove the comment section from social media postings on mainstream media. We've seen firsthand how that can actually have a positive effect in the way that people trust the media to do its job properly. But at the same time, you're starving people from spreading misinformation or from giving a platform to people who really shouldn't have one. And that's a really tough place for them to be. They'll sit there screaming things like freedom of speech. These are the same people who will post this kind of bullshit on their Facebook page, expecting Mark Zuckerberg to sit there and go, oh, well, I'm definitely not going to put any pictures up now that we're changing to Meta. But the reality is, when you sign up to a social media platform, be it Facebook or TikTok or whatever, you are agreeing to their terms. And if you're deciding to choose a mainstream media outlet on a social media platform, you're agreeing to their terms as well. And if their terms change to say, no, we're not allowing comments, there's nothing you can do about it except share the link that says that's what they're doing and discuss it amongst your own circle of friends. Have fun with that. So that's the nasty effect. Bad people who say bad things with bad takes online make media look bad. So shut down the comments section and life will be much better for everybody.